Yeah, I think we can have a conversation around that too. For me, I don't believe they can block it.
They're not gonna block it. They just want you to go into
it's just
your
blocking.
card.
They can never do that.
They'll lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. But if they were to block it, essentially you wouldn't be able to
do anything. Like I can't transact.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reason why they can't do that is once they do that, people find different ways of dealing with it. And already the MTN is making a lot from mobile. Like if you ask Regina, we can talk about that. They are making a lot, right? So they will never risk that. Once they risk that, they will lose a lot of people.
But I think they can't listen. They just have to wait till the law starts. Like makes sense. If I'm blocking about a few thousand users, then it makes sense. I don't think but I think the reason why they keep postponing the deadline because at the point of the deadline, they're still so
Yeah, a lot of people don't have the Ghana cards.
Yeah, I was listening to some radio post was talking about it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Even when I read I read stuff about why it would be helpful, I'm like, no.
Hey, welcome to the latest episode of the Tech Experience podcast. My name is Emmanuel, where we are diving into different experiences from individuals from different walks of life to inspire and educate the next generation about the wonders of the tech world. In this episode, I have two special guests who will be sharing their unique journey and insights into this industry. So my first guest is Eunice. Eunice is a cybersecurity analyst with deeper knowledge and understanding of cybersecurity policy, technology, and other programs for protection against threats, vulnerabilities. Her passion and dedication towards cybersecurity solutions for advanced protection against threats. I also have Clara Asumadu. Clara Asumadu is a senior design strategist. Her passion is to disrupt social change in public policy through informed and impactful design. So at this point, let's all sit back, relax, and enjoy this insightful conversation.
Because respectfully, you guys don't take stuff like that seriously.
That's the people that you created that for are not gonna take it seriously. You can't make systems for people that are not gonna accept it. It's not gonna work for them. It doesn't make sense with the culture. Therefore, why is it in place? You can't convince them otherwise. That's what I don't get. People will do everything to avoid the e-levies. They will actually waste more money to avoid it. So why is the e-levy? Why is it? It's not a good idea.
In the e-levy situation, right? Remember I was telling you I met the guy and he was explaining it to me in a different perspective, right? So how many Ghanaians actually would pay taxes? Let's be honest here. None.
It's not the culture.
No, okay.
Yeah. And I think it depends.
Becomes a problem because you take it like this. In America, we pay taxes for them to do the roads, do this.
Yeah,
do this.
but that was ingrained in the system of America from the get-go. You can't just impose it on people.
No, but that's the problem. It wasn't done, and it needs to be done.
It needs to be done, but you have to. I get it needs to be done. I have no even the idea of the e-levy. I don't think it's the worst idea ever. But you have to understand how the people of whatever the government is meant for the people. That is its entire purpose. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to design things for the people, it has to make sense for the people.
Exactly.
People are literally wasting their time, wasting their time just to get around the e-levy.
Okay, so
you're wasting money. They don't even care about the fact that they're wasting money. It's just the principle of it that bothers them. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let me ask you this: how else are they supposed to?
I don't know, because I think you have to first understand I'm not sure if these people sitting up in wherever they are, I don't think they understand how to make systems that work for Ghanaian people. Just you can't just place something that may work somewhere else onto a group of people who their attitudes, their behaviors, etc.
Where the disconnect is right now, from my view of the government, is that they're catering an economy to the diasporans and not the
that's what I'm.
That's also another. That's very questionable, but I think
they're catering.
It blows my mind.
it's like everything, like, I'm thinking about, like, let's say, like, we just drove through cantonments, right? The houses in cantonments cost maybe $500,000. Even a simple apartment in Osu cost like $120,000. The average pay in Ghana. How the hell is anybody supposed to afford a house? Even when you're building,
and we spend cities.
Yeah,
they're charging dollars.
That's what how dare you?
That blows my mind.
I don't understand that either because, okay, my friend explained it to me in the sense that the CD fluctuates all the time, but I feel like the dollar does the same thing compared to the euro.
Yeah.
But that's another story for another day.
No, really?
But yeah, like even building material, that you use to build a home is expensive as hell that the average Ghanaian cannot, go and do that. Even right now, because of all the attention that is in Ghana, even as buying land in Ghana is crazy. Back in the day, you used to be able to take maybe $1,000, $2,000 or something and get a good plot of land in a good area and work hard and be able to buy your cement small. Right now, you can't do that. You can't do that.
It looks like you stay here. It really looks like you know what is happening in this
because I'm into those things, like buying land and stuff like that. Those are things that I try to do, and I don't know how to explain it. It goes back to that conversation with my friend that I was talking about. She was basically like, okay, our parents left Ghana and came to America, right? And to find new opportunities and, give us those opportunities that they didn't have. Now, we can all sit in America and complain about how terrible the roads in Ghana is. This is wrong. The hospitals are trash. This. But what are you doing to solve the problem here? Because until we as a people understand that we are responsible for that land, we're always going to be in trouble depending on the white man to come in do it. And that's why the Chinese, the Indian, these people have the ability to come into our land and come and do work. When we ourselves, we have the skills. Like I'm saying, she's in the consulting. Why should we go and hire a European company to come and do consulting for us when we have a Ghanaian who can do it? Right. Why do we have to go outside and get outside contractors when we can have... So when she said that, it was like a spark. It was like, oh snap. Yo, like we as Ghanaians, and it's not like Ghanaians are not talented people.
Very talented.
It's not like some, I don't know if you remember the Gorilla Glue girl. The girl who put. Do you know that it was a Ghanaian who got her hair? Yeah. So why isn't he in Ghana here doing something for us? You know what I mean? Like I feel like our people, we are such talented people, and we don't utilize our skills to create profit and benefit our country, and all we do is complain. Literally, Ghanaians love complaining and don't do shit. Excuse my language. Like I would say, like the problems in Ghana, the government is trash. Don't get me wrong, it's trash, but the people are trash too. We're trash too. Think about it, and I'm a victim to it too. Because let's take it for example right now, right? I'm driving and I get stopped by a cop in America. I can't say anything to that cop. Whatever he chooses to do with me, under law, I have to obey him.
Yeah.
I come to Ghana, I lose that mindset, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to give him some CDs. And so now I'm part of the problem. I'm part of corruption because I'm now paying that cop instead of following and obeying the law. And we all fall victim to it. And I feel like
the corruption has become like a law because
I was to say, like,
if you don't pay that money, like your life will be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would rather pay a cop money than say something in the States and get shot. Like I would rather that happen.
But of course, listen. What I'm saying is, let's say we all as a people say we're gonna stop paying cops.
Yeah, I can't.
They're not gonna have the ability to do that no more. But we are part of the problem. We, like, let's say, for example, this Ghana card thingy. As an American, I shouldn't be able to go easily and go and get a Ghana card.
Yeah.
Paying somebody to go and get a Ghana card. You can never do that in America. If I'm going to get a license, I can't just go and pay somebody $300 and be like, yo, I need a license. But I can do that here.
Yeah.
Why?
It's sick.
And the thing is,
No, really. Did I tell you I got through the airport last year with my expired passport.
they didn't say anything.
If I try that in America, bro, like
You getting deported.
it's over for me. It's over for me, bruh.
You know what I'm saying? So and the thing is, you were probably allowed to get through because there was somebody there like, oh, give me something small.
Yeah.
I didn't give anyone anything.
So okay. Well,
They didn't like.
They do.
Honestly, they don't care. Look, I sound American,
Yeah.
trustworthy.
so I
So
think
they
they're
know you would
automatically
do it.
gonna trust me.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
You know
problem.
what I mean? So when she said that, it really sparked me. Like, okay, now what can I do to help
Yeah.
my motherland?
Motherland.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't even on, because there's some fake people who like, oh, I love my country, we come here and party and then go home and forget all about it.
Right?
No, like I want to actually
Yeah.
make an impact
Yeah.
in Ghana. So then what I started doing was I was finding people with skills and giving them to American people. So like if somebody was like, oh, I need t-shirts. Okay, that's fine. You're gonna pay maybe $15 for the t-shirt, right? I'm gonna find you somebody in Ghana who can do the t-shirt for $6. Same quality, same t-shirt, same
Wow.
building, same everything.
Mhm.
And that guy is gonna be very happy that he's getting his $6,
Right.
and you're gonna be very happy that you're getting a total price cut on your stuff, and then give it to him. So it started with that, and then I was like, Sam, okay, well now I can find a graphic designer, right? So then I found a graphic designer. I gave it to somebody. He does the work like this because it's like, bro, I'm about to get paid $100 when. So I'm like, okay, man, you happy with that? They're like, yo, that's Trump change for me.
Right.
Yeah. But it then, and not only that, not only that, it's like more so, okay, when I would first bring the idea to people, they're like, well, yes, you want to bring people from Ghana? Are they really going to do the work seriously? I'm
Yeah.
like, let me show you. Let me show you. And they would be shocked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, then what else can I do that can help? Because right now I've employed maybe 5 people. I have somebody for marketing. If you need marketing, the girl is a genius. Literally a genius. She can market stuff like nothing before. Edit videos, do like if you see her page crowd, you think it's some like actual, but it's a one. No, I'm telling you, it's a one-man style.
Wow.
So okay, you want somebody? I'll find maybe 3 different people for you. Each month you'll be paid this month, and I don't take anything from them. So if whatever price is agreed, 100% goes to them. Why? Because at the end of the day, that's going to help you out. And then it puts Ghana on the map that, hey, Ghanaians can actually do work. Right? So then after that, it was like, okay, I now have to find a way to fund all of this. So I know a lot of people like, you're not supposed to get into tech because of money. But let's be all honest.
This is very funny because this draws back to our first conversation we had.
Podcast, like, what is your inspiration for getting into tech? And the other guy was like, it's money, like it has to be money.
And I wanted him to be here today. Like, yeah, I wanted him to be here today, but I think he's available tomorrow also.
And I talked to him about like purpose and stuff. I'm a very like big on purpose. I love money, but but I was trying to make an argument about like having, when you have purpose, like your drive,
Like
and
value
your
brings money.
value brings money. The amount of value you're able to give is so
Sure.
much more than the person inspired by just money. And we had like arguments upon arguments.
But at the end of the day, I think it still boils down to money.
I think money is very important.
Yeah, and so I mean, you remember I was telling you when we were coming, I didn't want loans. So, and again, Dave Ramsey says if you're going to college, you don't want to go to college and let college be the reason why you're not able to build wealth, right? So in America, how our system works with education is usually you go get student loans and then you go to college. I didn't want that. So now it was like, okay, I have this dream of, bringing jobs to Ghana and all that. And I don't want to pay student loans. So what can I do? And I had a friend, we were having a conversation one night, and she was like, Guinness, just do tech. And I was like, well, I do love technology, and I've always loved it since I was a kid, but I took a coding class in high school, and I hated it. And I was like, I can never, because normally when people say tech, it automatically goes to coding. Yeah. And once you start looking into tech, it's very broad.
Yeah.
There's so much. There's project management, quality assurance, cybersecurity. It's so much. Yeah. And people don't know that. So I
think the space here doesn't have that a lot. I think that's the problem.
What do you mean?
Like the space in Ghana here. I would let me say Ghana because I don't know how it affects the other countries, but in Ghana here we don't have a lot of that, like a lot of cybersecurity experts, a lot of quality assurance engineers. We have like
person that's UI front and back end.
Yeah. You get the point. So exactly. So I think you only find those in places that are established.
Like this.
Yeah. Else if you're moving to some small startups, you might find one person doing a lot, right? And I think that makes it difficult for people to know the exact rules. It feels like it's just the core rules that are available, right? Like literally back end or front end or this, but you don't really see a lot of people doing like quality assurance because it's the same people who are in the back end that are also coming in back to quality assurance again, right?
Yeah. So I took that coding class. Like originally my degree, what everybody in my family knew I was gonna go to school for was for tech. And I was just like, after I took that class, I was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this for the rest of my life. Anybody who knows me would tell you I'm a busybody. I love movement, so I can't be confined like that. I don't stay in one place at all. So she was basically like, that tech is not just coding, like there's other things you can do. And I was like, oh really? She was like, yeah, like look into it. She originally wanted me to do project management. But then I kind of did chaka and ended up in cybersecurity. I kind of ended up doing cybersecurity. So I took a class for it. And it was really interesting, very, very interesting on how we're able to monitor systems, how we're able to use that information to protect ourselves. Because as I always say this, as much as our world is becoming more technology based, there's flaws that come with it. Yeah. And taking that class made me realize, I used to just use the same password for everything. We all have Batman 123 as the password. Or some people have like Facebook 345 something. Yeah. But realizing that something like that can end up you being, somebody can, steal your identity through that. And I'm like, okay, well, shoot, like even with my parents, like they can be at risk to identity because they just be clicking anything. They just use passwords for everything. So it made me think, okay, well, we need that. We need that over here. Okay, so now I have to go and learn about this and then try and find a way to bring it back home. So I took a class, by God's grace, I took my test, I was able to pass and everything. I did get distracted after I took my test and didn't start looking for a job immediately. But eventually I took it serious and by God's grace, I was able to find a position. And I've just been learning so much about cybersecurity and, you know, how important it is, because we have establishers here like Stan Blake that were in the building here. If somebody breaches you guys right now, like you guys are a major bank in Ghana right now. If somebody breaches you, it would be a big problem. What are we doing to solve that? I went to a bank here. I won't say the bank that it is, but I went there, and the way they were doing their system was of withdrawal of money. They would go to the thing. There's no privacy screen on the screen that they're using to. And I'm like, I even took the manager aside, and I was like, hey, like I can easily just look at this guy's password that he's typing and go do the same thing, withdraw money. And he's like, oh, don't even work on it. I came back a couple months later. He still didn't put the privacy screens on there. I was like, wow. Even like my banking app, like how the interface of my banking app, I really appreciate my bank because they use multi-factor authentication and stuff like that. At least that's being done. And it's actually really good. So they'll send you an email, they'll send you a text message to make sure that, hey, whoever's logging in is you and all that. And I was just like, okay, well, at least that's being done, but there's more that we can do. So who can I connect with here in Ghana that we can probably start working on things like that? And think God has a crazy way of working, but luckily, like the company that I ended up working for, they're open to these kind of things. So my goal was like, okay, for this year, I'm going to try and find people who are in the field, who wouldn't mind connecting and try and get those solutions solved. Because Ghana is going to be, I can see it, and I saw it back in 2017. So the more every time I come and I see the change and how we're developing, we're going to eventually need to stop doing our we don't care mentality and actually start caring about these things, because eventually we're going to have to stop using paper. I realize everything in Ghana is paper. We eventually going to have to start moving things.
I had this idea when I started engineering that how do I build ports that end like papers in Ghana? I mean, it was kind of like very childish. I had sketches and everything. How to from how we do like text extraction into computer systems. I don't know what I never followed through.
You should.
But I think it's a major problem even here in the bank. Like people still send us like emails to make transactions.
Yeah, I think the culture has already been created.
Like there's a portal, go to the portal and input the amount. And you spend time and draft a whole email. and it's not like they draft, like it's printed and people have written somewhere and then like they scan it and then pay money from here to here and they scan it and then they send it to you, and I'm like, there's a portal.
Wow. And the thing is, I think what comes with it is more of an education thing, educating our people and letting them know, like, hey, there's this stuff, that you can use. You don't have to come to the bank. You don't have to come to the bank to do that stuff. But it also comes with the thing where, from my view of the older Ghanaians, is trust. You get me? They don't feel like, hey, I can trust that if I do this through my phone, it's gonna be done, or this is gonna get lost. But then it comes about responsibility as a corporation yourself. Are you putting those security policies in place that they can feel safe? Saying, because I mean, like my parents, for example, it didn't take them overnight to start using technology because they had to realize, hey, I can trust that if I go to Wells Fargo and I'm using the Wells Fargo app, my stuff is going to be done.
I have a question. Do you think it's trust or creating the need?
What do you mean
creating the need?
Yeah, so talk about it. Is it a Ghana Pay app, right? Now, Ghana Pay, or let me say Gifts, that's like a big company in Ghana. They rolled out an app, right? Sort of like all the banks, and then the Bank of Ghana, they rolled out an app called the Ghana Pay. I don't know if you heard it. Yeah, it's like a platform to allow people to transact like Momo.
Okay.
Is it like Zelle? Do you know what Zelle is?
No.
I think it's
But you know Momo, right? You know how Momo is.
It's
It's exactly
Basically,
like
the
that.
banks hate Momo, so
Yes.
the banks make a platform.
Yes,
So-
a replica of Momo. Right.
It's Zelle.
It's just yeah.
Yeah. Now the problem what people have been complaining about is the experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad to use it. Like when you open the app and the whole thing is crappy.
Yeah. You know, MTN, they're very innovative and I admire MTN. And the reason why is even before America was doing electronic transaction, MTN was already on the game. Already on the game. So now you can't come and try and kick out the person who has started it all for everybody.
Yeah.
Because before Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, everything, MTN, Momo.
And they know how to catch us. Like they know we use the numbers, right? We're using the phone numbers. So if you can tie everything to the phone numbers, that makes
That's
sense.
the smart. Like that's what I'm talking about. Understanding the people and their culture.
So-
You know they're on their phones. You know it's a big way they connect with their friends, their family,
Exactly. Right.
and then you use that to then help them transact money. Like that's what
Because I
I'm
don't
talking
need to
about.
use an
You have to
email,
understand
right?
people.
I can't use an email for Momo. Like what am I using it for? Right. My number. It makes perfect sense, right? So do you think is the experience? I remember I was just
Okay,
trying to
see
put
what
around
you're
that.
saying.
Or
So-
it is a trust because people might trust it, right? But
I think
the
it's-
experience is bad.
I don't think I think it has to be both. You can't have one without the other. And I think one of the main differences in why businesses can do so much in America is they sell you on a story as to why you should be with them and not the other person. And that story involves why they're trustworthy, whether it's about safety. Even if you don't understand the safeguards they have in place, like you get an iPhone, you see the commercials, they make no sense, but it sounds really good. They created a story that sounds like the camera is amazing, it's so secure, rah, 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 rah. You don't know what they're saying. You don't know what an M1 chip is. But the story is about it's high tech, it's safe, the experience is seamless, etc. You can't just give people a product and think, oh well, it's good, it does your need, so that's enough. There's a lot more behind it, and I think Ghana does not get that, and it really.
Yo, I remember when Cash App first came out, that was what everybody was using to do their transactions, right?
And then Zelle was like,
And then
why?
the banks were like, well, why would you go through a third party?
Oh, so
Yeah.
I think this is anyone.
When you can go through us and assure that we're not even going to charge you any extra fee.
Yeah.
No.
Just go with your
This is
bank app,
the
go to
exact
Zelle, and just do it. Because why would you have to go through a third party app and then have to wait to get your money? And if you don't want to wait, you have to pay that app a fee. Like that's crazy.
So we skip all that.
This is exactly what Ghana Pay was trying to do. Let us just speak about the experience.
But
Cash App is cute. Like they have, remember when they even came up with their cards? People just got the card because it was a black, really cool card. You could get your emoji on it. Like
we make it
the
personal.
experience, like you're saying, is also very important. If you don't create an experience that people can buy into, no one's gonna care. Because even like Momo, like just the ease of you just need the person's name. Like that's
Exactly. You don't need to be a
It's
Ghanaian to even
brilliant.
understand this concept. Like, I don't mean, okay, you don't need to be an African to understand this concept. Like,
No, I use Momo.
but you send more
I
to,
send Momo
right?
at least once a week. I do a Momo transaction. See, if Ghana Pay really wanted to work, I feel like Ghana Pay came as, I don't know if you guys looked into the technical stuff of what goes on between the government and Momo and MTN. So basically, and it all boils down to even the e-levy. They're trying to take them out,
Yeah.
right? And so what they're trying to say is, okay, we're going to do Ghana Pay, but nobody trusts the government.
Yeah, I think that also comes back to the taxes we were talking about right now. I think we had some bit of I wanted to chip in by just relax a bit. Now we are paying taxes, right? We are saying that's the system that's in the US, but do we see the value of the taxes we are paying here?
No. I always say your money is in every single
So I think that's the reason why people go all around to pay that. Because why would I pay? Yeah, because why would I pay the tax? Well, I don't see anybody. Like I don't know what they're using money for.
Exactly.
So people would like to go all around so they don't pay. They would like to just skip it.
But you see, as much as we like to bash our government or whatever, something is being done. Because again, I came in 2010. I come now, it's too different. It's slow.
Yeah.
It's very slow, but it's happening. And I feel like eventually things will get put together because of all the eyes that are on Ghana at this moment. And that's, if you realize, things are really changing even at a faster pace than what it was a couple of years ago because of everybody's eyes is on Ghana. Before it was Nigeria.
Right. Yeah.
But right now, if you go to America right now, oh, Ghana, I heard about Ghana. I'm going to come to Ghana. Everybody's talking about Ghana. So you, at that point now, our government pressure, you can't be doing these things when the whole world's eyes is on you as the African country.
But the people don't care.
No, eventually they will.
They will have to.
I mean, so like, I have always been like a very tech person, so like I understood like phones and like from a very early stage and all those things. So sometimes you go to the market or you go to talk to people who are not like you, and you see this huge disconnect. Like it's not part of them like at all.
It really
like it's very far from them, and like some very simple things, and sometimes even my parents ask me to do something on their phones, and I'm like really, it's the name is.
Weren't we just talking about how they will ask you to buy them a ticket when all you're gonna do is what they could do is just go on Google, type in whatever they told you, and get the ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's this very huge and they don't want to understand.
They don't want to. They won't even listen to you.
You try to explain it. A friend of mine, Paul is a like front-end engineer, and Paul is like, I think the problem is that all the old people should die.
I've heard
that. Because even like in because the old people don't want to like change like what has always been there, and I think that's a huge thing. Even in school, like the lecturers don't understand like what we are doing, because I was very big on like building new technologies, and you show it to your like lecturer and he doesn't know what is going on, and he will say, oh yeah, this is good, but like there's no support. Like the old people that don't want to, the people who are already who are in the culture, they don't want to understand like what is new or what this world is currently. And I think what we should be pushing for is how do we make them understand.
So
what do you? Oh,
go ahead.
I know I'm not the interviewer here, but like, why do you think? Why do you think that is?
Why they don't like the police situation?
Mm-hmm.
The old people are making money in the situation they are in. The systems that were put in place, they fought for a very long time. Ghana is not like I have skill, like I'm a small boy, I have skill, I can be anywhere. Ghana is like you work and experience, and because I'm this old, I can be here. And these old people went through that system to get to where they are. So getting to where they are, they understand that this is what the system is, and because I've been able to work this much to get here, I'm supposed to get this back. Who is this new guy trying to
change everything?
Trying to change this? Who is this guy trying to outshine me when I put so much time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not work. They put so much so much time into it. I think it's how do we like remove that like view of our world has to stay how it is. Maybe it might be like changing our leaders to like new leaders who understand what the world is, but I don't know. I think that is the real thing that we are missing.
As you were talking about that, I was thinking about WhatsApp. Okay, so originally back in the day when you want to make a phone call outside of you would have to, or even if you're out there, you're calling, and you're calling Ghana, you have to go and buy a phone card. And then every day you gotta go $5 bus revolution, go and buy a phone card. And then WhatsApp comes, right? And they realize, okay, I can make phone calls without paying. So now I'm gonna go get a smartphone to avoid paying the fees of the boss revolution and just get a little bit of internet and make my phone calls. So it goes back to what you were saying, that you have to now try and find a way to connect with them, to have them understand that, hey, this new change that we're making is going to make everybody's life easier.
Right.
And it's going to save everybody. But one thing I realized about Ghanaians is that we're not straightforward people, and we're not straightforward people, and we like to do there's just things that can just be done in an easier way if we just have that understanding of, okay, this can be done to make this easy for everybody. It's a beneficial good for everybody. It doesn't just have to be about you. It can be about everybody and everybody.
Yeah, I like the fact that it brought to be you, right?
All the old people have smartphones now because they want to use
And why are they adopting that change, right?
Like they feel like
I know change is very difficult. I think that is the whole point. Like change is very difficult, irrespective of whatever it is. Like change is very difficult, right? But I also think we need to let them trust, like you said, trust and experience, right? Like you just said, they are buying in phones to use WhatsApp because they trust the process. They know they know the experience is good and all that, right? But look back to what you said about they changing. If they don't trust that process, if they feel like there is no need to wait for that.
communication.
So communication is also a problem.
Yeah. How you communicate it. Like I'm saying, that guy who explained
it's hard to like, trust communication in Ghana because everyone is just trying to scam you. Everyone is trying to lie to you. Everyone is trying to find a way.
It goes back to what I said. Me too. People are trying.
The people are trying because like if someone said like they came to me and proposed like this whole thing, like, and it's too good to be true. It's kind of like, it's probably not true. the people are.
I think, like you just said, the responsibility falls on all of us, right? It's not just one side. Like, we all have part to play in this. And I think that was one of the reasons why I started speaking, because it didn't make sense why someone else would be asking me more about the experience in Ghana, like the tech culture. I was like, wait, what is unisex? Like, she wanted to work here. Like, she wanted to know about how it's like. I'm like, wait, you're in the US. You guys have more experience. You have a lot.
It literally blows me how you guys don't appreciate yourself.
Crazy. No,
Bro, it blows me. I'm like, bro, you're in Ghana.
Really, and that's another thing about the culture that doesn't make sense to me. The way they think others are better than them, like.
And it comes back back to what you were saying about the US dollar and the CD.
Yeah.
The CD can be great though. It could be great if you guys would stop pricing everything in dollars. What is like? I was looking for couches. No, it wasn't even the couch. The couch wouldn't even shock you as much as this one. I was trying to buy a kaftan.
Yeah.
A kaftan. And I could have easily texted the guy with my Ghana number.
Yeah.
But I like to text them with my American number too, and then go back and get the price for the Ghana number just so I can let them see how they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I texted the guy, I was like, and the thing is, he just did some work for my sister's church where he was charging them $30 for the kaftan. So I hit him up and I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, oh, I'm good. I was like, okay, I like the kaftan you did for my sister's church. I would like one too. And he was like, okay, yeah, no problem. So we're going over designs. And Ghanaians don't like giving prices. They don't like giving prices because they give different prices to different people.
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, boss, okay, we can do all this design stuff. What is your price? I want each person to guess what he said.
No, he said $30.
30 was the sister.
30 was my sister.
50?
Okay.
I would say 100.
100.
He said $200.
Whoa.
So a kaftano. Not anything, it's a kaftan.
Yeah.
Top pants.
Just
Kaftan. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just reading this wrong. Did you mean cities? He's like, no, I meant dollars. Huh?
And let me see. A car.
That was my face for at least 5 minutes. So I texted my sister, I'm like, yo, boss, what's up? Like, guy, no, he saved $200 for the kaftan. She's like, this guy's lying. But I know for a fact, if I had texted him on the Ghana number, it would have been a reasonable price.
Yeah.
And it happens even to the point where I can't move around Ghana. Like, let's say I'm going to the store.
Yeah, your assets.
Crazy things will happen. So I remember me and my friend, we went to go and buy Cerelac. I know. Don't look at me. Don't eat Cerelac here, please. Don't do that.
You know, I was even thinking about it.
Right,
I was even thinking about it.
Some people think like Cerelac. Why you eat Cerelac at your vacation?
Exactly, like I was even thinking about it.
So we go to buy Cerelac, right? And I went to the lady first because he was down the street. So I walked to her and I'm like, oh, Cerelac, no, like how much is it? She was like, oh, the Cerelac is 6 C's. Not for the
Oh, okay, the rubber ones, right?
We're talking about
The package, yeah.
one packet. So I was like, okay, no problem. So my friend comes and he talks and he's like, oh, how much is the Cerelac 2 C's? So I asked her straight for her, I'm like, what's the difference between me and him? She's like, oh, madam. I'm like, nah. Like, did something change between
the assets, right?
And it happens even Kwame Nkrumah. Yo, I had to blast the guy at Kwame when I went to the Kwame Nkrumah Museum.
Yeah.
Because they tried it on me. And even it happened to me at Cape Coast. They have a signboard when you go to the Kwame Nkrumah.
You carry the price, right?
If you are Ghanaian, I think it's 10 cities if you are Ghanaian. Non-Ghanaians, I think it's like 40 cities or something. Can you go to a museum in America and be like, oh, and they'll say, oh, if you're not American, you pay X amount for, is that possible? Cape Coast Castle's the same thing.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, like, okay, some places, like if you were in like a historic landmark or whatever, like in Italy or something, they may charge the locals cheaper than the foreigners. But like, I think, okay, I get what you're saying though, because I think in Ghana, like,
Bro,
I think there's people try to like either
like
there's like an inherent distrust.
When I'm going to buy something,
uh-huh.
I can't like go from work to go and buy something because my prices
The way you're
are
dressed.
different from
Yeah.
when I go home and change.
When you come
and I come and speak the tree, and the prices are different from when I go and I say hello. Then when I go and I say,
hey boss, what's up?
boss, what's up?
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I think it's just like an inherent distrust in like one other and like a need to one up and trick the other person. And I don't know why that's
And
I can get into why I think it is, but
it prevents us from being able
Yeah.
to develop and go up forward as a nation. I feel like as Black people and I'm not one of those people, but it blows me how Black people don't understand unity and the betterment of everybody.
And you know what's crazy about that? Like culturally, African Americans, etc., are more like community driven. Yet when it comes to like interacting with one another, it's very like you against me. But in the US, they understand like we are seriously stronger as a unit
Then
than just trying to one up the other person, trick the other. I don't know why there's this. I'm like, why do you have to be that way? If you actually work with me and I trust you that you actually keep the same price with everyone, I will now get you other clients because I know you're trustworthy.
Yeah.
God,
Like you're actually hurting yourself, and I think it blows. Like,
because I always talk about Jewish people.
uh-huh.
Jewish people, they almost got wiped out. They almost got wiped out. But in America currently, they're the richest race. They're one of the richest races in America. They own the lands in New York.
Yeah.
As a community, they own it. They own it. So why can't we own ourselves, own Africa as a whole? Not even just Ghana, but all of us. Own it. We can develop Ghana ourselves. We don't need money from Europe. They took our resources. It blows me.
We're still giving it to them.
Yo, I was watching a documentary on, you know, when we first found oil in Ghana back in the early 2000s. And I'm sitting there watching this documentary, and the guy, I think his name is Mr. Owusu. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure his name is Mr. Owusu.
Yeah.
He came to Ghana government and he said, "Bro, I believe that there is oil in our country. We should start looking for it." What do you mean there's oil in our country? So he had to go to Texas. He found a company called Cosmos in Texas, Dallas, Texas, that it was like, "Oh snap, you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, I really do believe that we can find oil in Ghana." And they found it. And now
And they trusted the people in Texas.
And now come and see the way Ghana government is like, "Yes, we found the oil. How much are we making from it?"
Yeah, nothing.
But you can find that yourself.
Yeah.
We can build the tech community in Ghana ourselves. We don't need to go and hire outside people. He's a developer. He should be easily making $200,000 a year. He should. No. It should be done.
It should make sense.
It should be done, but it's not, and we have to figure out why. Because you should be able to buy like a $5 suit. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You work hard, you do the same thing as them. You're probably even smarter than the ones over there. Like, you probably smart. There's no reason why. I just feel like we, as Black people in general, we just depend. We are crushed on, them to do everything for us. And it shouldn't be like that.
So that's a wrap for part 1 of this episode. We hope you enjoyed diving into the current state of the security landscape and the role it plays in the economy. Now, there's still much more to explore in part 2. We'll be diving even deeper into the challenges and solutions for ensuring secure and a thriving economy. So stay tuned for next week's episode. We can't wait to share the next part of this insightful conversation with you. Thank you for listening and stay tuned.